Good morning, boys. We will continue the last exercise of the second chapter, that is exercise number 2.6. So, we studied already the binomial theorem, application of the binomial theorem, how to expand the numbers by using the binomial theorem. So, we are then how do you get the formula a plus b the whole square from the general format of binomial theorems and the middle term of the sequence. So, now we have to find out little. So, in the previous class we studied about the midterm, that is middle term of the given expansions by using that formula, that is T r plus 1 NCR a power r into x power n minus r. So, by using this formula we found the middle term of the expansions. To find the middle term, I just recollect the previous problems, that is capital n plus 1, if it is odd then you have n plus 1 by 2. If the capital N is equal to n plus 1, if it is even then you have n by 2 plus 1. So, this is the concept which will use to find out the middle term depends upon the capital N. When the capital N is odd number, n plus 1 by 2. If it is even number, n by 2 comma n by 2 plus 1. This is just like what is taught in 10th standard. To find the median, we are using this concept. Same concept we are using in binomial sequence also. Now, we are the same formulas, but we have to find out the little different concept, that is in this independent term. First you should know what is independent term. If I am defining that x square plus x plus 2, see the polynomial. This polynomial, only two terms have x variable, consisting only two terms. But what are the last one? There is no x term, therefore this is called independent terms. So, if you can write every terms in terms of the variable x, like this, you can rewrite 2 as 2 into x power 0, because anything power 0 is 1. Now, all the term consisting the x variable, but this is anything power 0 is 1, therefore, we are writing 2 into 1 as 2. So, we will write straight away as 2. Actually, what is the meaning for this one? This term also consisting the variable x, but what is the power of x? 0. So, anything power 0 is 1, therefore, 2 into 1. So, you are writing straight away as constant. Constant is nothing but independent term. Why it is called independent? Because independent of x, there is no x. So, this is independent of these two terms. So, independent is nothing but constant. Constant terms or independent terms, both are same concept. Clear? So, independent of these two variables is 2. This is also known as constant. This is also called constant. So, constant is nothing but independent. Both are same. So, when the question asks find the constant term of this expansion, so you have to apply that the same concept what I am going to teach now. Find the independent term of the C1 given expansions. Both are same only. Find the same. Find the constant or independent term of the given expansion. You have to follow the same process. No different process for independent term and constant term. Clear? So, based on that we will see the question number 5. Find the term independent of x in the expansion of first one, that is x square minus 2 by 3x whole power 9. So, independent. So, we do not know what is, they did not ask to find the 5th term or 10th term. They are asked to find out only independent terms. To find independent terms or constant term, you have to use this formula, for which you have to find out what is A? A is, this is compare with the general formula. A is minus 2 by 3x and x is equal to x square and n is equal to how much? 9. So just you have to compare the general formula with the given one and write down what is A, x and 9. Just you have to replace in this formula, that is T r plus 1 n 9 combination. What is r? I don't know r, that only you have to find out. To find values of r only, they have a condition to find independent term or middle, that is constant term. I don't know what is r, so 9c r. What is A? A is minus 2 by x power r into what is your x? X is x square, n is 9 minus r. So I am just replacing what are the information is given from the question. So this is the formula NCR, A power x power n minus r. So I am using the general formula and I am replacing the relevant values from the given questions. Now 9CR, you have to just rewrite. You have to group the x factor separately. You have to group x factor separately out of these two factors. So minus 2 power r, 3 power r, x power r. You know, in basic algebraic method, if when the fraction has the power, you have to separate the numerator and denominator to the same powers. Then power to power you have to multiply. Everything I into, see, all comes under multiplication. X 2 into 9, 18, 2 into r, 2r. But I did, so your aim is to group that x like factors in one bracket, that's all. That is the main concept, to find independent terms or constant terms. Here I just expand by using the basic algebraic concept. Now I have to group the like terms, that is x variable alone. Clear? So what is here x? So minus 2 power r, 3 power r, then this into x power 18 minus 2r by x power r. See, I just separate that x variable. I just separate r group. So again the division rule, quotient rule in algebra, minus 2 power r by 3 power r, a power n by a power m can be replaced by a power n minus m. Based on this property, I am replacing x 18 minus 2r plus will become minus r based on this property. So now independent, just now I set. What is my independent? The variable has power 0. Just now I did with one example, x power 0. So when the constant, if I am saying one constant, this constant you can write 5 into x power 0. Anything power 0 is 1. So 5 into 1, 5. That is called constant, and also it is independent of the variable x. So if it is independent terms, then you have to compare the sequence x power 0 is equal to, what is the variable x? X power 18 minus 3r. You can simplify. 2r minus r is 3r. So when the base are same, so what will be the answer? Just you have to (18 minus 3r is equal to 0). Just you have to compare when the base are same, power should be always equal. So 3r is equal to 18, r equal to 6. That's all. If I am replacing r equal to 6, then I will get independent term. So you have to replace r equal to 6 in this place. If you replace r equal to 6, then automatically this will become independent. See, if you replace r by 6, 2 6 are 12, 12 minus 6, that is minus 12 minus 6 is minus 18, 18 minus 18 0, x power 0. So just now I said with the examples, x power 0, that is independent. So you have to find that 9c here, you take only this part and there you have to replace. Here the powers are same, you can write minus 2 by 3 whole power r, that is also correct. So just I am replacing 9c6 minus 2 power 6 by 3 power 6. You simplify by using the calculators, r just you have to replace as it is, you will get answer. When the negative has power even number, then this will be become 2 by 3 whole power 6, because both are same power, so you can read it like this. If you simplify more, or you can leave it as it is, nothing wrong. They will give marks. I explain again. So to find the independent term or constant, both are same. So don't say that, sir, the question carry find the independent constant term of the given sequence. Same process to find independent term or constant terms, please follow the same steps. Use this formula, compare the given question in the general format and write down what is x, a and n. Just you have to substitute in this formula and you have to group that x variable separately in this format. Then if it is independent term or constant term, the power of x is always equal to 0. That you keep it in your mind. Both independent case as well as constant term case, you after group that variable x in this format, make the power of x is equal to always 0. Because independent, I explained how do you equal the power of x is equal to 0. I explained with the help of one example how to get independent terms, how to call that 5 as constant or independent of x with examples based on the concept. So whatever the power of x is here, that will be always equal to 0, and find r, then you have to replace other than the x factor, just to leave the x factor and substitute the remaining remaining factor in the place of r by what you got from r. If it is 6, you have to replace r by 6 and simplify, you will get answer. This is the method to find out independent terms or constant terms. So second sum you taken as homework, I will teach a third one. So sum number 3, 2x square plus 1 by x whole power 12. So compare and write, you know how to find out the values of a and x from the given question, then general formula, that is t r plus 1 is equal to ncr a power r x power n minus r. So in the place of n 12, I don't know what is r, that only have to find out by using independent term or constant terms. So 12c r, I know what is a, that is 1 by x whole to the power r, then 2x, this is x, 2x square power 12 minus r. So as usual, you have to 1 by x power r. 1 power anything is always 1. So x power r. Then you have to separate 2 power 12 minus r. Then we have x square. X square power 12 minus r. Multiply the power 2 power 12c r 1 by x power r 2 power 12 minus r x power 24 minus 2r. See, just I am separate. Now you have to group. As usual method, 24 minus 2r by x power r. Clear? So just then as usual, this is a power n by a power m algebraic method. So now you have to write 12 CR 2 power 12 minus r. What will come here? X power 24 minus 2r, 24 minus 2r, here 1r, so 24 minus 3r. So independent terms are constant. To find independent or constant, then you have to cover, that is 3r is equal to 0. The power of x is always equal to 0 in the case of independent or constant. So 3r is equal to 24, you will get r is equal to 8. After find out values of r equal to 8, I told you already, you have to take this part alone and substitute r equal to 8. So 12cr is 2 power 12 minus r. So replace 12c8, 2 power 12 minus 8. So 12c8, 2 power 12 minus 8, 4. That's all. You simplify, you will get answer, or you can leave it as it is. Clear? So just you have to leave it, or you simplify. This is independent term or constant. To find independent terms or constant term, please you follow the same procedure. To find independent term of the binomial expansion or constant of the binomial expansions, please follow this method. You have, your aim is to group the x variable separately. Then the power of x should be is equal to 0. I told you why are equal to 0, because constant is independent of x, x power 0. So for that we are make the power of x is equal to 0. This I explained in the beginning of this problem itself. So remember, this is the procedure to find not only for independent term, it is also for constant. So be careful. Sometimes in the question paper they will give in terms of independent terms or constant term. Both are same. So now we will go to that next sum number 6. Sum number 6. This you have to, this is very simple to prove that the independent term of expansion is nothing. It's the same formula. What is given? The question, x plus 1 by x whole to the power n. Clear? Compare x plus a whole to the power n. Here x is x, but a is 1 by x, but you have to find capital N. So capital N, to find capital N, what is the formula? Small n plus 1. What is that small n? 2n. So 2n plus 1. But you should find out whether it is even number or odd number. How do you find out whether it is even number or odd number? If you replace n by 1, small n by 1, so my answer is 3. So I got the odd number. Therefore, it is odd. So if it is odd number, then you have to find out n plus 1 by 2, that is 2n plus 1 plus 1 by 2, which will give you 2n plus 2 by 2. If you take 2 outside, you will get how much? N plus 1. So you have to find out the independent terms of n plus 1th term. So if I am replacing, this is general formula. What is general formula? TR is equal, TR plus 1 is equal to NCR x power n minus r a power r. This is general formula. Clear? If you, in the general formula, if you replace r, that is, so if you use in the place of r by n plus 1, I need only n plus 1th term. If I am replacing r by n plus 1, then I got n plus 1 plus 1, that is 1 plus 1, 2. I will get t n plus 2. But I need only which term? T n plus 1. Suppose if it is, if I like to find out T6, I have to replace r by what? 5. Then only if I am replacing r by 5, 5 plus 1, 6, I will get 6. So if I am replacing to find 6 to replace by 6 plus 1, 7. I supposed to find 7th term, but if I don't want 7th term, I need only 6th term. To find that any term of the binomial sequence, you have to take predecessor of the given number. So what is the predecessor of 6? 5. So you have to replace r by 5. Similarly, what is the predecessor of n plus 1? This we studied already in the factorial 2.1 itself. What is the predecessor of n plus 1? Before the number of n plus 1? N. Therefore, you have to replace r by n. You have to replace r by n. So already n is given. We have already n. What is our n? N is 2n. So just you have to replace all these informations in this formula. You will get answer. That we have to prove the required answers. So r is equal to n. You know how to get r equal to 1? Just now I explained. To find the t6th term of the binomial expansion, you have to find out the predecessor of the given number. Clear? That should be r. How do you find r? To find t6, r should be the predecessor of 6, that is 5. In the same way, to find n plus 1th term, then I have to replace r, this r by predecessor of this n plus 1. What is the number before n plus 1? N. What is the number before n? N minus 1. This you know already in factorial format. Clear? So just I am replacing all this information in this general formula. N is replaced by 2n, r is replaced by n. Then what is my x? X is x only. X power n minus r. N is 2n, r is n. Then what is a? A is 1 by x power r. R is n. Just I am replacing the information in that question. That's all. Then you know how to write 2ncn. What is the formula to find NCR? NCR is equal to n factorial by n minus r factorial into what will come? R factorial. This is it. This general formula. Just you have to use the general formula in this format. Then you will get 2n factorial by n factorial into n factorial based on this formula. Here n is refers to 2n, r is refers to this, r is refers to n. Just I have to replace. Then x power 2n minus n 1. Then 1 by x power n. These two get eliminated. So nothing is left. So what is the remainder? Now you have to prove that conditions. Answer is gets over, but you are asked to prove that 1 into 3 into 5 into extra 2n minus 1 2 power n by n factorial. Refer the question number 6. So this is the answer is gets over, but you have to prove some conditions. So 2n factorial, this you know how to expand this. 1 into 2 into 3 into extra 2n. What is the number? What is the number before 2n? 2n minus 1, isn't it? This you know already. By n factorial into n factorial. So I did not disturb anything in the denominator. Just I kept as it is. According to the prove that conditions, I have to separate that odd number 1 into 3 into 5 into extra. What is the last number is odd number? If you replace n is equal to 1, 2 into 1, 2, 2 minus 1, 1. If you replace n equal to 2, 2 2s are 4, 4 minus 1, 3. So this is the odd number. How do you check whether this is odd number or even number? By replacing n is equal to 1, 2 into 1, for example 2n minus 1. If I am replacing n is equal to 1, then answer is 1. So if I am replacing n by 2, then 4 minus 1, answer is 3. If I am replacing n by 3, so I will get 5. See, I got only the odd number. Therefore, this is the last odd number of this factorial, 2n factorial. So I am rewriting, I am just separate the odd number and the even number. Are you clear? So how do you separate it? If replace n by, this is the last number. What is the predecessor of 2n? 2n minus 1. What is the predecessor of 2n minus 1? 2n minus 2 and so on. So to check whether 2n minus 1 is an odd number or even number, Just you have to replace n by 1, I got 1. If you replace n by 2, I got 3. If I am replacing n by 3, I got 5. Therefore, 1, 3, 5 are what? Even number or odd number? Odd number. Therefore, I can straight away separate the entire factorial into factorial with odd number and factorial with even number. So, I take 1, 3, 5. This dot stands for multiplication. Don't confuse. This dot stands for multiplications. So, 2 into 4 into extra. What is the last number? 2n by n factorial into n factorial. So, what is the common factor of the next one? Even number. So, 1 into 3 into 5 into 2n minus 1. I am taking 2 outside. 2 is repeated how many times? N times. Therefore, you have to take 2 power n. So, when I am taking 2 is the common factor of n terms, that is 2 power n. If it is m, for example, if it is 2 into 4 into up to 2 power m, if I am taking 2 outside, that is m terms, then 2m you have to take. Don't take 2n's. So, 2 power n, I am taking 2 power n outside, 2 will become 1, 2 extra, I take 2 outside, so what is the remainder? N by n factorial into n factorial. So, 1 into 3 into 5 into extra, 2n minus 1, 2 power n, this is nothing but n factorial by n factorial into n factorial, these two get eliminated. Then 1 into 3 into extra 2n minus 1, 2 power n by n factorial. See, this is your required answer. I have to prove this one. Very simple. To find the middle or independent terms of x, this is the process to prove the conditions. They are asked to find out. See, there is no r. Clear? To find the independent terms or middle terms, prove that. They will give some condition. You have to prove that by using the concept of independent terms or middle term. You please follow this method. First you find capital N. This you know how to find capital N, small n plus 1. If it is odd number, n plus 1 by 2 is the answer to find the term. That is n plus 1th term. You cannot replace r by n plus 1th term. You know how to replace r, predecessor of this number n plus 1 or before the number n plus 1, that is n. Just you substitute and simplify. Why I am separating this one? Because I am asked to prove these conditions. To bring this result, I separate the factorial into odd number and even numbers. Odd number into even number. So, in the odd number, how do you find out odd number? The last odd number of, what is the last term of the odd number? Just you have to find the predecessor of the last number 2n, that is 2n minus 1. There you have to replace n by 1 and 2, 3, 4 and so on. Check whether it indicates only the odd number or even number. We checked already, so I separate like this. Then the common factor of the even number is always 2, whatever it is. So, when I am taking 2 for in n terms, that becomes 2 power n. So, I replaced this by n factorial, cancel with the denominator, then finally I got what is required for the given questions. So, this is sum number 6. The same model you have to do at home. I just did up to the steps. The remaining steps you have to do it at home for sum number 7. Clear? So, be careful. If you work it out 1 or 2 times, then it will be very easy. So, sum number 7 also same model. There is no difference. Only one difference will come in the place of A. So, sum number 7, 1 plus what is given? X power 2n. So, there is no difference when you compare the previous question. Here the previous question 1, see x is there, but only in the place of 1 by x. What is given here? 1. So, there is no difference. Just you have to proceed as usual. That is capital N is equal to 2n that is n plus 1 formula, but what is n? 2n. So 2n plus 1, surely this will become what? Odd. So n plus 1 by 2, that is 2n plus 1 by 2 plus 1, that is 2n plus 2 by 2, which will give you n plus 1. So r is replaced by, what is r? The previous number of n plus 1, that is n. N is replaced by 2n. Then you have to compare the formula with general formula, what is A and what is B. Just you have to started to substitute in that formula, you will get answer. Clear? This is x plus A. So x is 1 and A is equal to how much? X. So just you have to understand the concept and substitute in the general formula. TR plus 1 is equal to NCR x power n minus r a power r. Do it. After substituting these, you have to follow the previous method, you will get answer. Clear? Just I am comparing with the general formula x plus a whole power n, x is replaced by 1, a is replaced by x. Then you know how to find out capital N by using n plus 1 formula. Same process, you have to replace n by 2n, r by n. What is your x? 1 power anything is always 1, this is not necessary, a is replaced by x, x power r. What will come actually? 2n combination with n, this will become x, x power 2n minus r, 2n minus n, a is x power, r is replaced by n. So 1 power anything is always 1, so you will get 2n cn combination with n, then x power n. So just you have to simplify like previous model, you will get answer. Clear? Next you will go to the chapter number 3. This will be very easy. So before that you should know, boys, after that you just follow the previous method, you will get answer. You try. Don't say that sir is leaving that half of the problem as it is. Just now I thought how to simplify this one for the sum number 6. So refer that and do it yourself. Now exercise number 3.1. This is very easy. Locus. So what is mean by locus that you studied in lower class 9th standard? I don't know whether you taught or not in the 9th standard. The locus is nothing but, if I take a point, based on this point, I take another one point. So if you move this point, you cannot move this point, you just keep it as it is. If these given points are moving point, it will be moved somewhere based on some conditions. So this is a fixed point, another one is the moving point. What does it mean by moving? It be moved from one place to another one place. So but the fixed point, this cannot move from this place, it should be always remains as it is. So the moving point move from one place to another one place. If you trace the pathway of the moving point with respect to that fixed point based on some conditions. Clear? So if I am moving this point, this moving point moving like this, after tracing that moving point path, I got what shape? A circle shape. That is called locus. Locus is nothing but with fixed point with some conditions. When if you trace the moving point's pathway, it represents straight line, circle or parabola, whatever it is. Clear? That is called locus. Locus is nothing but representing the diagram with fixed point and some conditions. Based on the condition, with the help of the fixed point, if you trace the pathway of the moving point, it shows some diagram. The diagram may be a circle or straight line or parabola or hyperbola, whatever it is. Clear? So locus is nothing but fixed point with some condition that if you trace the moving point, trace means you have, if you follow the moving point, and the moving point shows yes one shape, it may be a circle shape. If it is circle shape means what is that? What is the condition? The distance between the fixed point and moving point will be always same. Always same. So the fixed point, the distance between the fixed point and the moving points are same, that is the condition, then that should be represent always that locus of the point, moving point represent circle. When the distance between the mixed point and the moving points are different, that never shows circle, that is the locus. Locus is nothing but to find out whether the moving point with respect to the fixed point with constraint some conditions, the pathway is called locus. It depends upon the condition, the pathway of the point, moving point may be represent circle or some analytical diagram like parabola, ellipse and the straight line. Clear? So this is the concept of the chapter number 3. Now we have to see that this is coordinate geometry. This you know the distance formula that all studied in 9th standard. Clear? That is called analytical geometry or coordinate geometry. So exercise number 3.1, the question number 1, find the locus of the point. Find the locus of the point which equidistant from 1, 3 and which axis? X axis. So you must draw a diagram. If you go for the diagram, that will be very easy. Find the locus of the point, equidistance. So I don't know what is the point, I take just point, equidistance from 1, 3, for roughly 1, this is 3, so this is 1, 3. This point, find the locus of the point which is equidistant from the point 1, 3 as well as from x axis. This is only x axis, this is what? Y axis. Find the locus of a point P. This point P will be the equidistance from 1, 3 and also from the x axis. So if any straight line meet the x axis, y will be always 0. On y axis, x is always 0. That is the concept that you studied in the lower classes. Any straight line or any curve, whatever it is, if meet at x axis, y is always 0. When the same straight line or some other, or if it is meet at y axis, x will be always 0. That will be standard result that you know very well. Any straight line intersect on x axis, y is always 0. Any straight line intersect on y axis, x is always therefore what will come here? I don't know what is x, you keep x as it is, but I know what is y axis? 0. Clear? So what is the condition is given? That distance from P to that I take this is A and this point as B. For example, I am taking my consideration, I take the first point as A and second point as B. It is given already. Look, focus is take always P. Find the focus of the point, you must take always P. So these will be two fixed and this will be always moving point. That's why it is called x, y. I don't know what is the point for x, what is the value for x and y. If I am replacing x by 1 and y by some other answer with the help of some conditions, then this will be moving somewhere. So that's what you have to find out. They gave already the distance from the point locus to the fixed point of 1, 3 and x, 0. How do you find out x, 0? There is no information given x, 0, sir. How do you get x, 0? Very simple. This straight line is meet on which axis? X axis. Understand the concept. Any straight line meet on x axis, y is always 0. I don't know what is the distance from origin to this point, so I kept as it is x. So now it is given equidistance. Distance from A to P is equal to P to B. It is given equal distance. Equidistance means what? The distance from A to B and P to B is equal. It is given in the question. It is given. Clear? So what is where A? You know. This formula, which formula is supposed to take? Distance from the 2 points. Distance formula, that is square root of x1 minus x2 the whole square plus y1 minus y2 the whole square. This is the distance formula. So some of you may write x2 minus x1 the whole square, y2 minus y1 the whole square. That is also correct. I did not say that is wrong, because the term has power square. Even if you interchange these two also, the final result will be always positive, because it has power 2. So x2 minus x1 the whole square, y2 minus y1 the whole square also correct. Nothing wrong. So now I am going to use this distance formula to find AP and PP. So what is the formula? So this square root of, so you have to take AP on the left side, PB on the right side. So just you have to apply the formula for AP by using this formula. Clear? So what is your A? A is 1, 3. What is your P? X, Y. Similarly, B is X, 0. So just I have to apply AP. So better you go for PA, x minus 1 the whole square, because I kept x variable as the first term. You can minus 1 minus x also, that is also correct. But for my convenient, I take x minus 1 and y minus 3. Or you can take 1 minus x the whole square also, this is also correct. Clear? So you take either x minus 1 or 1 minus x. Y minus 3, I applied this formula, the whole square is equal to the right side again x minus x the whole square plus y minus 0 the whole square root. Both sides square root and square root get cancelled. Or if you want to eliminate the square root, you can squaring on both sides. If you square it on both sides, then the square root is not necessary to, without square root you can proceed if you squaring on both sides in the beginning itself. Clear? But I did not do, because sometimes you may have confusion. I explained why I am using without squaring on both sides straight away this formula. I explain the later with the help of one problem. So now I cancel both sides of square root. I will get x minus 1 the whole square, y square, y minus 0 is y square. This you can expand by a minus b the whole square, and there also a minus b the whole square. Remember a minus b the whole square, a plus b the whole square identity to simplify these problems. So x square minus 2ab plus 1, a square minus 2ab plus b square is equal to y square. A square 2ab plus b square, a square 2ab, 2 3s are 6, 6 into y, that is y will come. 2ab then b square, 3 square is 9. I just expand by using a plus b the whole square formula. Both y square get cancelled. So we will get x square minus 2x minus 6y, 1 plus 9 how much? 10 is equal to 0. So this is your required answer, that is x square minus 2x minus 6y plus 10. So this is your required. So when you trace the pathway of the P, it will be represent one equation. Clear? So how to find out locus? I told you already the definition of locus. The locus, it be dealt with some condition. Based on the conditions only we get locus of the given point. The condition is given in this question as the distance from the moving point to the fixed point of A on x-axis, that is B, is always equal distance. That formatting AP equal to PP. Equidistance means equal distance. Clear? Now you understand? So remaining problems you have to see the next class. So why? You have to remember the concept. Equidistance means AP is equal to BB. So based on this concept, we have few more problems that we will see in the next class. Thank you, boys.